Okay, we are live. This hour on Burbling, the next in my pronunciation series. This is the class where you look at all those little details about pronunciation, things that are not obvious at all. Hopefully, I can teach you some things that you might not otherwise get, like silent letters. That's what we're going to be working on today. Those letters which are not written, but are pronounced, those special sounds that help connect different words. We'll be talking about that and more in just a minute, but first, let's do a little introduction while we're waiting for people to come in, and then we will get started. First, let me get my name on the board. There we go. All right. Hopefully you can see that. My name's John Eric. I'm your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. And by the way, if you click on the link in the Verbling chat window, or you just go to my profile page by clicking on John Eric, anywhere where you see it in Verbling, you will go here. On the left side, if you click follow, you should receive notifications of my upcoming classes. And on the right side, you can book a private tutoring session or buy a package. I will work with you on creating a personalized learning plan to help get you to your goals if you do that. I'll tell you more about that if you send me a message. But for now, let's take a look at our material for today. I'm going to get it up on the screen, and then I'll give you a copy of it as well. There we go. Okay, that's loading. I'll put a quick copy of it in the chat window as well. There you go. Whoops. And in the Google chat as well. And I'll tell you exactly where we left off. Okay. So we'll give everyone a minute or two to come in. We're still a little bit early, but while we're waiting for them. So we looked at two sounds which are very similar in some languages. The sound b and the sound v. And two sounds which are very similar in other languages, the sound v and the sound w. But we also began to look at how the w sound is actually one of the so-called silent letters. It's used to connect other words. So if we jump forward, give me a second here, after this. Okay, here we looked at the silent B, a letter that is written but not pronounced. Give me just a second to go to the second half. There we go. And in the last class, we were looking specifically at connected speech. So on the two little information bubbles there in our map, you can see this letter J, which is actually pronounced like a Y in the International Phonetic Alphabet. And it says the Y, or J, which is a D and the symbol for J. So you put them together, you get a J. So the Y or J is the sound, or are the sounds, that link consonants to weak vowels. We looked at that a little bit in the last class. We'll go over it again. And on the bottom, you can see the W sound is the sound that links vowels to other vowels. In other words, when you have a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, that connects, that is preceded by a consonant, right? We need to interject a special sound. Often it's a Y, sometimes it's a J. As in, did you eat? Not did you eat, but did you. So that first little information bubble is just a reminder of that J sound because it ends in a consonant. Did ends in a D. U begins in what is basically a vowel sound. Not really, but almost. And you put them together and you get Jew. Below that, you have the W sound. When you got two vowels that are together, we often have to separate them with this W sound. So that's what we're going to be learning and practicing. I'm going to move the presentation ahead to the very last thing we did, where you had to use those sounds to tell a little story. We'll do a quick review of these two slides, then we'll go on to something new with the W sound. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of where we were. Let's see who's out there. We've got Mr. Vincenzo. Hello, Vincenzo. How are you? Are you okay? Uh-oh, I don't hear Vincenzo. Let's see. We've got Mr. Antonio. How are you today, Antonio? Hello, hello.
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone.
There we go. Very good. Nice to have you back, Antonio. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Pretty good. I'm still wondering where everyone else is. We had a full house. I don't know where everyone is. But it's good to have you here. And Mr. Jose, how are you? Jose? Jose! Uh-oh. No Jose and no Vincenzo. That's weird.
Hi, teacher.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I was muted. Okay.
Oh.
I didn't see that I was muted. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Nice to be with you, teacher.
All right, good. And Jose, is your microphone working? Jose? Going once, going twice. Jose went out to get a sandwich. Okay, well, let's get started. I don't know where the other, let's see, 6, 7, 8. I don't know where the other 6 of you are, but hopefully you'll be joining us soon. Let's get started. In the last class, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 different situations. And you heard people talking in each of these situations. What we really did in that case was look at how some sounds were linked together. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Give me just a second here. And I'll share with you. Give me a second here. Give me just a minute here. Let's see if I can find a good example. Yeah, here we go. Okay, got it. So what I want to show you is okay, in each of these situations, something happened. But you'll notice it says weak forms with past conditionals. If you could go back in time, you could have changed something and prevented the thing from happening. I'll show you what I mean. What happens, or what happened in the very first picture? Antonio, tell us, look at that picture on the far left. What actually happened to those people?
These people is having an accident. They break into the side of the bridge.
That's right.
They are going to fall into the water.
They are going to fall into the water. Why do you think they broke through the guardrail of the bridge? That thing is called a guardrail. The guardrail is the thing that protects the cars from going over. I'll put it in the chat window too.
They were running breakneck speed.
Breakneck speed. They're going too fast. Okay. Yeah. Antonio, one more question for you.
Okay.
If they could go back in time,
yes,
what would they change to prevent this accident from happening?
I think they had to go slower.
Okay, so we're going to say it like this. If they had gone slower, right?
Yes.
If they had gone slower, what could have happened? They
won't have an accident.
They could have
an accident.
Avoided an accident.
Okay.
Take a look in the chat window. Can you see what I wrote?
I don't see the chat window. The verbling chat.
Verbling chat, yeah.
Yes, I see.
Okay, read that last sentence back to me.
If they had gone slower, they could have avoided an accident.
Avoided
an accident.
Very good. That is what we call the third conditional.
Yes.
And the third conditional, the formula is always had plus past participle. I'm just going to write, I'm going to put, okay, past participle. 1 second. Okay.
Have
and then
plus past participle.
Yeah, it's could or would or should plus, and if you really, if you really want to be technical, it's the present perfect.
Okay.
So I guess I should be clear. It's past perfect. Yeah, let's do it like this. It's a little bit confusing. Past perfect. There we go. That's a bit better. So you'll see this in just a second. Third conditional is past perfect plus would, could, or should, and the present perfect. Okay? That's the formula of that sentence. If they had gone slower, past perfect, they could have avoided an accident. But notice the pronunciation. I don't say they could have avoided. I say they could have. Could have. And if I write that for you, it's going to be a little difficult, but let me just write it one time so everyone can see exactly what I'm saying using the IPA. Give me just a second here. I have to put special symbols in the chat window. Where's my sound? There. So, could, whoops. Could. And I guess it's going to be an if. So I'm going to put a little and a v. Okay, so now, if you take a look at the chat window, I'm going to write could have. We're going to write it in the IPA symbols too. IPA is the International Phonetic Alphabet. Take a look, everyone. Could have. Could have.
Could have.
Could have. That's right.
Could have.
Could have.
Could if. Could if.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to try the same with the others to give you a little bit of practice, but I want you to realize, I want you to see, this is what we call a weak form, because we don't say have. That would be the strong form, where you hear the vowel. We say of. It's the weak form where you don't hear the vowel. Basically, you don't hear it, or at least it's very, very muted. Let's say a quick hello to Salwa. Hello, Salwa. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Very good, very good. So, in each of these pictures you're going to see, there's something that could have been done. Okay? And so I want you to practice both the third conditional and the weak form, like I just demonstrated. Not could have, but could have. Or not would have, but would have. Okay? So, Mr. Vincenzo,
Yes.
let's look at the second picture, second from the left.
Yes.
Where is that man?
This man is in a restaurant.
He is in a restaurant.
He's in a restaurant, yes.
Okay. And what do I want to say about the man?
That they are serving lots of plates.
That's right.
Mhm.
And let's imagine for a second.
Yeah.
Let's imagine for a second that he gets the bill. Do you think the bill is expensive?
It's the bill.
Think the bill is expensive?
Yes, he is at the moment to pay the bill. Pay the bill. Yes, yes. It depends from the about the bill teacher. If there is a big amount, yes, I think it wouldn't be well. No, it wouldn't be. Wouldn't be good for him.
That's true. Let's imagine for a second that it's very expensive, right?
Okay, if
Let's
the
imagine
bill,
for a second.
yes, if the bill had been.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Wait. Let's set up the situation. Do people these days carry lots and lots and lots of cash around them, or do they carry cards usually?
Usually they carry cards.
Of course.
Cards,
What-
yes. Credit
Okay.
card.
That's right. So, think about this. It's a good thing the restaurant accepts credit cards because the bill is expensive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can express that using the third conditional. It's a good thing now that the restaurant accepts cards because the bill is very expensive. No one carries cash anymore. Okay?
Yes.
Let's see if you can move that statement into the past using the third conditional. If they had or hadn't, or if he had or hadn't done what, he wouldn't have been able to do what?
Yes. If they hadn't accepted credit
Right.
card,
Exactly.
the man wouldn't
Wouldn't have
have able
been able.
ever been able to pay by bills.
Yeah, to pay the bill.
To pay the bills. The bills you pay by cash.
Oh, right. To pay with cash.
With cash, not by cash. Okay.
Okay. Take a look at the chat window. I wrote what you said. Take a look at it.
Yeah.
If they had accept. Oh, I made a little mistake. Wait. Let me erase that. Hold on.
They had accepted. No, what?
Wait. I made a mistake. Yeah. If they
Hadn't.
hadn't. That's it. If they
Hadn't. Yes.
hadn't. 1 second. If they hadn't accepted cards. At
Cards generally, in general.
restaurant.
Cards.
1 second. Restaurant. The man wouldn't have been able to pay with cash. I think that's what you said.
Yes.
Okay, read that back to me. Let's hear the pronunciation now with the weak forms of had not and would not have.
If they hadn't accepted cards, the restaurant, at the restaurant, the man wouldn't have been able to pay with cash.
Very good, very good. And the weak form is wouldn't have. Wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have.
That's
Wouldn't. If the man wouldn't have been able to pay with cash.
That's it.
Wouldn't.
Have.
Yes. I tend to put the O always. Wouldn't.
And if you say it really fast, I'm going to write this for you. I'm going to write for you the chat window.
Yeah.
If you say it really fast, it looks more like this. Wouldn't have. Wouldn't have.
Oh dear, wouldn't have. You could I also have wouldn't have.
That's it. That's it. So if you look at the IPA symbols, you can see that there's two it sounds like wouldn't have. So if you say it fast, it's more like wouldn't have. So listen to me. The man wouldn't have been able to pay in cash. Wouldn't have
been able. Wouldn't have been able.
Good. Sounds good. Sounds very good. That's it. Okay. Let's try one with Salwa. Salwa, look at the third picture from the left. Okay. What is that woman doing in the picture, Salwa?
She's wearing her coat.
She is wearing a coat, yeah, but look at all those bags. What's she doing?
Yeah. She dropped the bags from her hand because of it's raining.
Maybe. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it looks like it might be raining. It's true. Let's see. Can she get the bags into the train car? Is she having trouble?
Yeah.
She is. She is. What could she have done to make her trip easier, Salwa? Let's go back in time using the third conditional, just like Vincenzo just did. What could she have done to make her trip a little bit easier? If she had or she hadn't done what, her trip now could have been easier. What do you think, Salwa?
If she had only 2 bags,
If she had brought only 2 bags, yeah, good.
she would have been able to get them in the train easily.
That's it. So I'm going to write that in the chat window. If she had brought, and we're going to contract she had. It's going to look like this. If she had brought only 2 bags, she would have been able to get them in easily. Okay, take a look at that sentence and just read it back to me one time. Look at the chat window, Salwa.
Okay. If she had brought only 2 bags, she would have been able to get them easily.
That's it. She would have been able to get them in easily. Okay, so here we've got would have, and the IPA symbols look like this.
Okay.
Would have, would have.
What if?
That's
Okay.
it. Would have. Very good, very good. Okay, so class, all of you, what's happening in the last picture? Antonio, what do you see in the last picture on the right?
Burglars break into a house. The owners of the house are sitting in the coach.
The owners of the house are sitting what?
Are sitting on their on their bed, and they are bound.
They're bound. They're tied up. They're tied up. That's right. They're tied up like this in the chat window. The owners are tied up. Okay. Wow. Those are burglars. Or, yeah, those are burglars. So they've been burgled. Whoops. Burglars. Oh my god, I can't write. 1 second. My spell check is telling me it's butlers, but it's not. Burglars. 1 moment. I'll get that in the chat window so we can see. Oh my god, it doesn't have the word burglars. It keeps telling me this is spelled wrong, but I know it's not spelled wrong. Burglars. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Let's see. Salwa, why do you think the burglars have burgled their apartment? What makes them special?
They are focused in the picture of the wall.
Salwa,
what do you think?
About thieves? Or
Yeah,
burglars?
why has the couple been burgled?
What you just said?
What's that? I'm sorry?
What you have just said. Say it again.
I said, why have they been burgled? Why has the couple on the bed been robbed or burgled? Burgled looks like this.
Uh, because they are old and can fight with burglars.
Because they're old and they can't fight back, yeah? Also, they're probably rich, I would imagine. Maybe that's another reason. Okay, but let's go with that. Reason one that they've been burgled. They're old and can't fight back. Okay, good. Reason number 2, this was my reason. They're probably rich, I would imagine. Vincenzo, look at reason 1 or reason 2 and tell me what they could have done to prevent this. Uh-oh, Vincenzo, are you out there?
Yes, teacher.
Ah,
Yes.
there we go.
Okay, there are 2 reasons. Yes, you said that there are 2 reasons. One, that they can They are old. The other that they can fight back. They are rich. Addition to they are rich.
So what could they have done to prevent getting robbed?
Yes, if they had not, if they hadn't been rich, the bugger could could have robbed, could have
Couldn't or wouldn't?
wouldn't. Let me say
Wouldn't.
wouldn't have robbed.
Good. If they weren't so rich, they wouldn't have. I'm going to put this in the passive voice now. They
Oh, see.
wouldn't. They wouldn't have been
Would have been robbed.
robbed. Okay, good. That's one possible answer. Pronunciation: wouldn't have been. Wouldn't have. Wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have.
Good.
Wouldn't have been robbed. Negative. Yes.
Okay, that's it. Okay, Salwa, tell me another reason. What else could they have done to prevent this burglary? Salwa.
Okay. If they were young,
If they were younger, yeah.
younger, they would have been vulgar.
If they were younger, they could have done what?
They
What could they have done if they were younger?
they what they could fight the vulgars.
Okay, let's say it like this, Salwa. If they, look at the chat window. If they were younger, they could have fought back.
Yeah.
Okay? Why did I say they could have fought back instead of they could fight back? Am I referring to the past or the present here, Salwa?
You are referring to past. So
Exactly. So I need exactly. I need the present perfect with could. Otherwise, I'm talking about the present, and I don't want to talk about the present. I want to talk about the past. So if they were younger, they could have fought back. And you know what, Salwa? We can use this. That's the second conditional. It's a mixture of second and third conditional. I could use the third conditional and say if they had been younger, they could have fought back. That's even more clear. Both of them are acceptable. Okay?
Okay.
Both of them are acceptable. Okay, let's hear your pronunciation, Salwa, in the second example there.
If they have been younger, they could have fought back.
Good. They could have. Exactly. They could have. Okay, Antonio, what else could they have done to prevent this burglary? Use your imagination, Antonio. What
Another
else?
one, I'm going, shall I start? I think if they had gone out this morning, they could have avoided stay at home when the burglars break into.
That's true. If they had gone out, they could have avoided the whole thing. Sure. At least they wouldn't be tied up, which is probably not very much fun. Okay, very good. So, here are some other reasons or some other things we could say about those pictures. This is a review from the last class, but I want you to listen to the pronunciation of the weak forms. The first sentence was, in box A, talking about the first picture, the guy going off, the two people going off the bridge. Okay? They might not have skidded if the road hadn't been icy. They might not have skidded if the road hadn't been icy. Okay, you'll notice that there are some words missing, so you have to use your ears. But I want you to repeat these. Okay, Antonio, I want you to repeat that. Okay. They might not have skidded if the road hadn't been icy.
They might not have skidded if they... I can't remember.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You got to use your ears. Listen carefully. Repeat the first part. They might not have skidded.
They might not have skidded.
Good. Am I saying they might not have or they might not had? Which one am I saying?
I think had.
No,
No?
no. Look at this. They might not have
Have. Okay. Have.
skidded. Skidded. Look at this in the chat window.
They might not have skidded. Okay.
Skidded.
Skidded.
That's right. They might not have skidded. And then here's the second part. If the road hadn't been so icy.
If the road hadn't been so icy.
That's it. That's it. So that's what I mean by a weak form, because it's hard to hear the letters. It's hard to hear the vowels. Might not have. You listen to how it sounds like one word. Might not have. Might not have. Say that for me, Antonio. They might not have.
They might not have. They might not have.
That's it. That's it. That's exactly right. They might not have skidded. Okay. Mr. Vincenzo, here's one for you. Let's take a look at, let's go to the second picture. Whoops, wait, give me a second here. Let me go back. There we go. We're looking at the guy in the restaurant, okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
we're gonna go down to letter C. Okay?
See.
Okay, now there's some words there, but there are some words missing. So
Yes.
I want you to listen and repeat from what you hear. Listen and repeat. We couldn't have afforded it if he hadn't taken his credit card. Listen again. We couldn't have afforded it if he hadn't taken his credit card. Repeat.
We couldn't have afforded it if he couldn't have taken his credit card.
One more time. Listen to me. We couldn't have afforded it if he hadn't taken his credit card.
We couldn't have afforded it if he
Hadn't?
hadn't taken his credit card.
That's exactly right. You got it. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll write down in the chat window for you to take a second look. We couldn't have afforded it if he hadn't taken his credit card. Okay, so this is exactly what you repeated in the chat window.
Taken. He hadn't.
Oh yeah.
If he hadn't taken. Yes.
I wrote take instead of taken. Sorry.
Yes, there is an N in it. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
We couldn't have afforded it. We couldn't have afforded it if he hadn't taken his credit card.
That's exactly right. Good. Couldn't have.
Hadn't.
Okay.
Couldn't.
Salwa, this one is for you. And here we're going to go back to picture. Let's go back to the burglars on the right side, okay? So we're looking at that picture, and we're going to go to which one? We're going to go to letter D. Okay, and you'll notice there's a few words that are there, but there's many words missing. Searched is there, and the jewels is there. But now listen to the sentence 2 times. Listen twice. If they'd searched more carefully, they might have found the jewels. So that means that the burglars didn't find something important. Okay, listen again, and then I want you to repeat. If they'd searched more carefully, they might have found the jewels. Can you repeat that?
If they were searched more carefully, they found the jewelry.
They might have found.
They might found the jewelry.
Okay. So listen to the beginning one more time. Listen to my verb tense. So I'm not using the past. I'm using the past perfect. If they'd searched more carefully. If they'd searched more carefully, they might have found the jewels.
If they search it, if they search it more carefully, they might found the jewelry.
Okay, the jewels. Okay, good. Carefully. If they'd searched more carefully, comma, they might have found the jewels. Okay, and now you can see the sentence that I just said in the chat window, Salwa.
If they have searched it more carefully, they might have found the jewels.
Right, right. But you're not reading what you're seeing. You're reading what you're thinking. What you see is, it doesn't say if they had, Salwa. It says if they'd.
They
Right. Next word. Searched.
searched.
Good. And then you put them together. If they'd searched more carefully.
If they searched more carefully,
Very good. They might have. They might have found
they might have found
the jewels.
the jewels.
That's it. That's it. Okay? So what we've seen in the first half of class is what we call the weak forms of words. When those words are contracted or those words are not the main ideas in the sentence, they don't have the stress of the sentence, then they are, we basically swallow the vowels. Okay? Swallow, meaning we don't hear the vowels. Okay, those are some examples. I want to show you one other thing. Well, here you can see where we do it. In fact, you should all just repeat this. Listen once, just so you can hear the whole group of words you see. Would've, wouldn't have. Might've, mightn't have. Could've, couldn't have. And now I want you to repeat after me. Okay? First me, then you. Would've, now you.
Would've.
Would've.
Good. Salwa?
Wouldn't have,
Wait a second, the first one. Would've.
would've,
Okay. Not of, but if. Would've.
would've,
Good. Second one. Wouldn't have. Now you.
couldn't have,
Good.
Wouldn't have.
Good.
Wouldn't have.
Good. You can repeat all at the same time. I'll be able to hear the difference. In the next row. Might have. Now you.
Might have.
Might
Good.
have.
Good.
Might have.
Good.
Might have.
Might have. Might have.
Salwa, are you there?
might have.
Okay, good. You can all speak at the same time. I'll be able to hear if there's a mistake. Don't worry.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to the left side. Listen to me. Me, then you. Me. Might not have. Now you.
Might not have.
Might
Not
not
have.
have.
Might
Might
not.
not have. Might not have.
Might not
Sounds
have.
good.
Might not
Might
have.
have. Might
Very
not.
good. Okay. Listen to me. Could have. Could have. Now you.
Could have.
Could have.
Would
Could
have.
if. Could if.
Could have.
Okay.
Could
Could
have.
if.
Jose, I'm
Yes.
hearing could if. I need to hear a V sound. I need to hear a V sound like could have. Could
Could
have.
Could if. Could if.
Jose, wait a second.
Okay.
You're giving me an F, but I want to hear a V. You're saying could if. No, not
No.
could if. Listen. Could have.
Could if.
That's
could
it.
if. Okay.
That's
Could
it.
if.
That's
Okay.
it. Okay, so one more time, Jose. Could have.
Could if.
Good. That's perfect. Remember that feeling of your teeth vibrating on your lip. That's the V
Okay.
sound,
v.
right?
Could if.
And let's do the last one. First me, everyone. Couldn't have. Couldn't have. And now you.
Couldn't have.
Couldn't have.
Could
Couldn't
never.
have.
Have.
Could
Couldn't have.
never.
Okay, good.
Could never.
Couldn't have.
That's it. Okay, so that's a quick review of all the forms, and let's do something new. When you when you link words together, sometimes we have to put in these extra sounds. They're not written, but they're there. you'll notice on this page, well, actually, we're going to talk about idiomatic expressions, and we're going to use that as an example of how we link sounds together. Okay? Mr. Jose, can you read the caption? Can you read what the character is saying in the cartoon for us?
Okay. I warned you that the dog would come to a sticky end.
That's right. By the way, repeat after me. Not doch, but dog.
Dog.
That's it.
I warned you that dog
Would come to a sticky end.
dog.
So, can anyone explain the joke here? What's the joke? Salawa, what is a sticky end? Do you know?
That his hand stick while he was sticking something.
Well, hang on a second. Sticky end, sticky could mean difficult. Like this is a sticky problem. It's a difficult problem, or it's uncomfortable, or it's not nice. So a sticky end means that it's going to end up in a difficult way. Okay? But, Antonio, what happened to the dog in the picture? What happened to him?
I think the dog is stamped on the wall.
Yeah! The dog is underneath the wallpaper that he's been glued to the wall. So the joke is that the dog came to a sticky end because the dog has been glued to the wall. I warned you that dog would come to a sticky end. There you go. So we're going to use these idiomatic expressions to look at silent letters. That's the plan. Okay, let's take a look at one or two. First of all, let's go through the list on this page. These are all idioms that you might have heard before. Okay, let's go around and just read them and make sure that they're clear. Antonio, read the first one for us, please. To take
something with a pinch of salt.
Good. Does that mean that the thing is serious or not serious?
I think it's a joke.
It's a joke, right? It's like, don't take it seriously. It's a joke. Good. Jose, read the second one for us,
Okay.
please.
To put your finger on it.
Right. If you put your finger on a problem, have you figured the problem out, or haven't you figured the problem out?
I think you have solved the problem.
Exactly. If you put your finger on it, you've solved it. It means you can point to the problem. Okay, very good. Salwa, can you read the third one for us?
To feel like a red rag to a bill,
To a bull.
ball,
Bull.
ball.
There you go. Hey, Salwa, have you ever been to Spain?
No,
Have you ever seen pictures of a bullfight?
no. What's the meaning of ball?
Bull is the big animal with horns. Let's see if we can see a picture of a bull. Okay, here's a bull. Give me a second. Can you see the bull? Let's take a look closer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in a little closer. Hold on a second.
I know
Oh,
it. Yeah.
sorry, my computer's a little slow. Oh my God, look how slow this is. There we go. There's the bull. What a nice bull, huh? It's a pretty nice bull. Okay, and what happens in a bullfight? Let's take a look at that red flag in the bullfight. Oh, can you see that, Sawa?
Yeah.
So what happens when the matador waves the red flag? What does the bull do?
He ran towards the red.
Exactly. And so the matador stops himself from being impaled by the bull because he puts the flag out in front of him. Okay? So that's what it means to be like a red flag to the bull. It's to make someone do something, especially to make them angry. You know what's going to make them angry, so you wave the red flag so that they charge. Okay?
Right.
Or in this case, they call it the red rag. Okay, Vincenzo, can you read the fourth one for us?
To be on the tip of your tongue.
Right. Have you ever had a word on the tip of your tongue?
Yes, many times. Sometimes I have the tip of the tongue when I was thinking. I can't remember, but afterwards, is it possible? It is possible.
Right. That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
That's the main mystery.
So you know, but you can't actually remember the thing
Yes.
that you know. It's on the tip of my tongue. That's it. Okay. And we already did to come to a sticky end. We already did that one. So Antonio, let's go to the next one.
Do not be yourself.
To
I
not
think
be
you
yourself.
have
Yeah.
to be selfish. I don't know.
Not selfish. To not be yourself means that you don't feel right. Yeah, there's something wrong. You don't know what it is. Like, I don't know, you're not making sense, or you're really tired, or something. Somehow you're like a different person today. Have you ever woken up and you weren't yourself, Antonio?
Mm,
Just say yes.
Excuse me, could you repeat, please?
Have you ever woken up one day and the
Yes.
whole morning you felt like somebody else?
I don't understand. I'm very sorry.
Have you ever woken up and you wake up,
Yes.
right? You get ready for work, and then you realize that today is Saturday and you don't have to work.
Okay. This happened to me many years ago, several times.
Right. So you woke up and you weren't yourself.
Yes.
You're
Okay.
like you're something kind of wrong, and then you get some sleep, and then you're okay again.
Okay.
That's what it means to be not yourself. You're doing stupid things. Your brain isn't working right. Okay.
Excuse me, teacher, but shouldn't we use feel, the verb to feel? I'm not feeling. No, I'm not feeling myself. I don't feel myself.
No. To be
Feel,
yourself.
yes, it's like an emotion. No? It's,
Yeah, but that's not how we say it. Yeah, no, the expression
Yeah.
is, I'm not myself today. I don't know what's going on with me.
Okay.
I'm not myself. It's a metaphor. That's why we don't use feel. Of course, it's how we feel, but we don't actually use the verb feel because it's a metaphor.
Okay.
All right? And Mr. Jose, can you read the next one? After to not be yourself.
Okay. Okay. The next one is to be at a loose end.
To be at a loose end. Do you know
I
that
think
one?
when you don't figure out the problem, you have a bad end. You don't solve the problem in the proper way.
That's right. So basically, you're at a loose end if you can't explain the reason for something, right? Something is not settled. Something is the metaphor is that you haven't tied up the package. It's untied, like it's just still loose. It's not finished. Okay? So basically, that's it. It's not finished. Salawa, can you read the second to last for us?
To beat about the bush.
Okay, have you heard that expression before?
No.
Okay.
Bush. What is for?
A bush, I'm going to show you what a bush is. 1 second. Let's see. Get rid of our bull, and let's put in a nice bush. I don't mean President Bush. Oh, no, I don't want that kind of a bush. No. I want this kind of bush. There, that's a bush. See it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like that bush, Sawa?
Yeah.
It's a very nice bush. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Very nice bush. Okay. So to beat around the bush, Sawa, means to not say what you're thinking. Like you say everything except what you really want to say. Okay? Sawa, when do you think someone might beat around the bush, and what kind of a situation?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, remember when you were a kid, Salva?
Yeah.
Remember when you were 8 years old?
Okay.
Did
Yeah.
you ever do anything bad when you were a kid?
Uh, Sometimes in
Of
class.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. And what happened when your parents asked you to tell the truth? Did you tell the truth immediately, or did you beat around the bush?
I got it a bit around the bush.
Exactly, exactly. That's what everyone does. You don't want to get punished, so you just talk about everything else and you never really say what happened. You beat around the bush, exactly. You know who else beats around the bush? Anyone in public office. Politicians beat around the bush. They never come out and say exactly the truth, do they? Because they don't want to get in trouble with the press. So they say a lot of things, but they never answer questions. The moment they answer a question, they're in trouble, right? So they don't even answer them. They beat around the bush. Mr. Vincenzo, last one.
Yes, to fly off the handle.
Good. Do you know what that means?
I think that when a problem is out of handle, it's impossible to manage something, or there is a problem that they can't control something. The situation fly off the handle, fly off
Not
the
exactly.
not exactly. Okay.
Not exactly. You're getting confused with. There's another expression when a person gets angry. Is what is it? It's oh no. I mean when no. I'm sorry. Fly off the handle means you get angry quickly. But there's another expression which is out of hand.
Out of
That's it. Out of hand.
out of hands.
And if something is out of hand, it's out of control.
Okay.
Okay? But fly off the handle is very simple. Have you ever picked up a hot skillet on the stove, a hot pan on the stove? When you're cooking, have you ever picked up a hot pan or pot? What happens immediately when you go to pick it up?
Yes, I have to leave the pan because
Right.
it's very hot.
Right.
Yes.
You
To leave
drop it.
immediately. Yes,
You
to drop.
it immediately.
Yeah.
Okay? That metaphor is exactly the same as fly off the handle, only the thing you're dropping is your self-control. In other words, you get angry fast if you fly off the handle. A person who has no self-control flies off the handle. Okay? Have you ever seen anyone fly off the handle before?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Of course.
Of course. Yes.
Because you and I, we live in the South, and we know people are very emotional down here. All you Latin people.
Yes.
In Portugal, you know where you are in the country. The farther north you go, the more
Yes.
people fly off the handle in traffic. Here, everyone just beeps their horn. When I was in the north,
You're not English. No.
they get out,
Okay.
and beat each other up in the street. So, I don't know. I think in Italy it's the opposite. I think in the north people are more passive aggressive. You go to the south, it's just pure aggression. I don't know. Just my feeling.
Yes, I would say more emotional.
More emotional, right? So
Yes.
the more emotional you are, the more you may fly off the handle.
Yeah.
Okay, fly off the handle is not really a good thing, though. Okay, let's take a look at those. And what I want you to do is try to replace the underlined word for the expression we just learned. Okay? So let's go to Antonio. Back to you for number one. Read it and tell me which expression you think is best.
Don't mention politics to my father. You know, he fly up the handle.
Right. Okay, you know he flies off the handle. You know what, Antonio? There's a better choice for that. There's a much better one. Take a look at your choices.
Mm,
You're right, but there's a better
don't
one.
put your finger on it.
No, that means figure out a problem. No.
To be like a red rag to the bull.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay? So it's going to be like this. Don't mention politics with my father. You know, it's like a red rag to a bull.
Like
It,
my wife.
exactly. It is the politics, not your father. It's like a red rag to a bull. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay, good. If you really want to make sure you understand, you should probably write these in the chat window so that I can see that you got it right. So number one is don't mention politics with my father. It's like a red rag to a bull. Jose, look at B. What do you think is the best choice?
Okay, B. Just say what you think. Don't avoid what you want to say because you feel embarrassed. I believe in being direct with people. I think the best choice is mm, to beat about the bush.
Exactly right. Very good. So it should be like this. Just say what you think. Don't beat about the bush. I believe
Yes.
in being direct with people. Very good. That's it. Okay, Salva, what do you think about C?
At the end of the film, the villain had an unpleasant death, which he deserved. Uh, to come to a sticky end.
Very good. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, and so it should be something like this. At the end of the film, the villain came to a sticky end in the past tense. He came to a sticky end. Very good. All right, let's try Mr. Vincenzo for letter D. Are you out there, Vincenzo? I think he's on the phone. I heard him talking. Vincenzo, are you out there? Going once? Going twice? Back to Antonio for letter D.
Okay. Yes, you are absolutely right. You you've just
Oh, sorry. Let me go back so you can take a look. Remember, you're right. That's the key. What do you think, Antonio?
I think it's to be a loose end.
No, I don't think so. That means that you're not finished with something. It's not solved. So it can't be loose ends.
Not be yourself.
Are you guessing or are you sure? Sounds like you're
I
guessing.
think I am sure. You've
You're
just
sure? Uh-oh.
yourself. I couldn't agree with you more.
But remember the example about be yourself? Be yourself is when you're not yourself, you wake up and you do everything wrong. So it's got nothing to do with this. I'm saying you're right. What have you done with the problem if you're right, Antonio? What have you done with the problem? Have you solved it or have you not solved it? Have you figured it out or have you not figured it out, Antonio?
No, you solve it.
You solve it, right. Which one of those things means to solve it or to figure out exactly what the problem is? Which one of those?
Put your finger on it.
100% correct. Okay? So, it's got to be, you're absolutely right. You've just put your finger on it. I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. Let's see. Let's do this because we're running out of time here. Let me see what we can do. Okay. Yep. Well, let's do this. What I can let you do the other ones for homework if you like. But basically, what I wanted to do was to look at where we inject this extra sound. So on the next page, you're going to see the presentation I was going to show you. We're out of time. We've got to stop. But you'll notice it's like a is joined together. Red rag to a. Now look at that. To ends in a vowel. A begins with a vowel. So when we got two vowels that go together, we have to separate them with the w sound. To bull. Like a, there's no need, like a, like a. It ends in the letter K, and it's followed by a vowel. So there's no need to separate the sounds. But to has two vowels, so we have to separate them with a w. So that's the other thing I wanted to get to, but unfortunately, we're really running out of time. So what I'm going to suggest you do is study this slide, okay? Try the exercises on the next slide, and in the next pronunciation class, we'll start there with a little review, and I'll make sure that you're getting the right places to put in the w sound. And in the meantime, if you like, you can finish E to I as well, and I'll be happy to correct them for you if there's any questions. The answers are at the end of the presentation, but if you have any questions, send me a message, or just wait till the next pronunciation class next Monday, and we'll go over all this together at the very beginning, okay? So, very good job with the new expressions and the weak sounds. Very good, everyone. I'll be back in just a minute for Business Basics, where we're going to be talking about moving up. We're going to be talking all about promotions in our business class. That's it for now, and I hope to see you in about 1 minute. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.